Hey everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope that you had a great May. Here we are already at the end of the month, ready to talk about some speed reviews. I actually have a whole bunch of things to get through today, so I don't want to talk for too long here in the intro. I have both skincare and makeup to talk about today. Let's just go ahead and get right into the skincare. So I was feeling a change with my moisturizer. I was getting really frustrated with how expensive all the moisturizers are that work for my skin. I've been buying the Shiseido moisturizer, and I decided it was time to just try something that was not expensive and see what happened. So e.l.f. recently came out with this. This is their Holy Hydration Gel Moisturizer. They have another moisturizer that I have been interested in trying, but e.l.f. has a tendency to put niacinamide in their stuff, so I wasn't able to use their moisturizer that's been out for a while. This one, however, does not have niacinamide. It has plant-based squalane and prickly pear. So this is meant for oily skin types, which I do not have. Oily or combination. However, this actually has been kind of miraculous. Okay, I shouldn't use that term because my skin is not perfect, but I turned to this after I was testing a product that really did not work for me, and I had a terrible breakout going on, so I wanted something that did not have actives in it, just something that was very gentle, and this actually has been really, really good. My skin cleared right up, and I'm about halfway through the jar, so you can see it is a gel. This is not something that's going to sit on your skin and feel super moisturizing. It does soak right in, so this definitely wouldn't be something that would be enough for me in the winter time, but here in the summer it's been working beautifully, and I was very happy because, you know, it was nice and affordable because it's e.l.f. I'll probably have to buy my expensive moisturizer again in the winter time, but I'm very happy to have something more affordable to use in the summer. Let's talk about some sunscreens. So this one has been on my wish list for a while. This is from Black Girl Sunscreen, and this is the kids sunscreen. So this is the moisturizing sunscreen lotion for face and body, SPF 50. It has no parabens, no fragrance, no oxybenzone or octinoxate, and it's white residue free. This is lovely. I really, really like this. It describes it as a moisturizing sunscreen. That's exactly what it is. To me, it's more like a face moisturizer with the added benefit of the SPF 50. So far, it's worked beautifully under makeup. I haven't experienced any weird textures working with primers and things like that. Since this is a moisturizing sunscreen, you are going to be a little bit shiny, but not as bad as other ones that I have tried in the past. So I would really recommend this one. I think it's really nice. The active ingredients are avobenzone, homosalate, and octisalate. Another sunscreen, and this one has been on my wish list even longer. This has been on my list, I feel like, for years. So this is a kind of a classic one. It's from Australian Gold. This is the Botanical 50 Tinted Face Sunscreen. So it's a BB cream and I picked up the shade for fair to light skin tones. And I was very, very interested to try this because I heard it's similar to the Bliss sunscreen and that it is matte, which is difficult to find in a sunscreen. This is very matte. At first, I didn't think it was going to be. When you put it on, it blends in beautifully, like you're not sitting there rubbing like sometimes you would expect a very matte product to be. It goes on beautifully. There is no white cast. As for the tint, it's a very, very soft tint. Like, it's not gonna give you a ton of coverage, just the ittiest bittiest bit. But once it actually, you know, sits on your face for a little bit, it totally is very matte. So if you're looking for like a matte sunscreen to go underneath perhaps more glowy makeup in the summer, ooh, this is great. In fact, I have to tell you, I've been pairing it with this foundation from MAC. So this is the Face and Body. Very glowy. And with this on top, it actually is crazy because if you've ever used the MAC Face and Body before, you know that when you start to rub it on, it becomes tacky and it sticks really well to your skin. This in combination with this has the most incredible stick to my skin. Like, I feel like my makeup is not going anywhere when I combine these two. So if you're looking for a matte sunscreen, yes, beautiful. Oh, so I found it works beautifully under makeup. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. All right, one more skincare thing and then we can get on to makeup. So Ilia sent me a very generous package. I have another item from them as well to show in this video. Thank you so much to Ilia for sending this to me. It was very, very exciting for me. As part of the package, they sent me this base face milk. So they call this a lightweight moisturizer with barrier renewal complex. So as you would imagine with a name like face milk, it is very runny. You can see the drop there. You just need a few drops for your face. And I have found, actually, I quite like this. I use it before I put on my sunscreen. I really let it soak in first though. Like, we really want dry skin when you put your sunscreen on. So I put on the little base milk, and even though it is a very thin product, I do feel like my skin is more hydrated. So I tend to use this when I need to prep for makeup, and I feel like maybe my sunscreen won't be enough. Like, I need something more. Very lightweight. The bottle feels very luxurious. It's kind of like that frosted glass. It's very heavy, and this bottle will last me a while since you use just a little bit at a time. See the back of my hand, it's completely soaked in, and I feel like it does look like it's more hydrated. It's not gonna do an added layer to your skin. Like, sometimes I don't want that when I'm adding moisturizers and sunscreen and things. It just becomes too much. This soaks right in. All right, let's talk about the other Ilia product. So they sent me their new foundation stick. This is called their Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. You can see I have 3 shades. They actually let me pick 3 shades. They wanted me to pick a concealer shade, a bronzer shade, and then my actual foundation shade. So I have been testing this month. I do have my thoughts together on it. Well, I think it's a nice product. I don't think it is perfect for me. So let's go into all the positives about it first before I talk about why I don't think it's so perfect for me. This blends in really beautifully. I just used my Merit brush to blend it in, and it blended in beautifully. I didn't experience any tugging. It just wants to melt into your skin, and it's very easy to keep it a nice, light, natural looking finish, but you can easily build it up as well. The shade that I chose for my under eyes is the shade 2C Balsa. So it's kind of a very light, kind of very pink color. I think it actually looks pretty good under my eyes. I'm actually very pleased with the shade that I chose for my bronzer shade. So this is the shade 23C Alder, which looks like this. It looks so natural. Like, it really just blends in so nice. It's not one of those products where someone is going to go, holy cow, she's wearing a lot of bronzer. It just melts in so beautifully. And I was very, very happy with myself for choosing the shade 3W Spruce as my actual foundation shade. I think it matches me really well. I'm just gonna quick show you on my neck. Look at that. It blends right in. That's amazing. So I'm just gonna quick blend that out with my finger so you can see. Yeah, very good match for me. So this is meant to have a soft matte finish, and it does, but I think that is the reason why this particular product is not perfect for me. I find that whenever I build it up around my mouth, which is where I will get acne, unfortunately, I feel like it wants to not sit as well, where I have to build it up, probably because of that soft matte finish, and I just don't have the dewy skin that I used to have. I'm not sure this is good for dry skin or someone with a lot of texture. I feel like you're going to be fine if you just want a very light layer since it blends in so nicely. But if you're gonna do any sort of building up, I would really recommend prepping your skin very, very well. Like, even today, I feel like I did pretty good skin prep, and I'm not really liking how it's sitting on my nose. I realize it's very difficult to see, but I feel like it's wanting to sit in my pores a little bit and look a little built up here. And truth be told, I am used to wearing a more luminous face product, not something that is matte. But I still think there's a place for this in my collection. I just need to make sure not to build it up too much. And honestly, it's actually the same with the Merit Complexion Stick. That product is beautiful unless I try to use too much, and then you can see it. I unfortunately have not tried a ton of stick foundations to give you comparisons to other products. The Merit one is actually the only other one I've tried. You get a lot of product. You get 10 grams of product. When it came to using this on my under eyes, today I tried it just kind of swiping it on and blending it out. Previously, I have just kind of melted it with my finger and tapped it up under here, and that worked very well. Personally, I don't think this is my favorite for my under eyes. It wants to break up a little bit under my under eyes, which the Merit stick does as well. So I feel like I just can't do matte products on my under eye. But this is actually a really pretty shade, and I have a friend, you know who you are. I know she sees my videos sometimes. She is I call her my very pale, cool toned friend. This is coming your way since it is so light and it has that kind of pink undertone. But these 2 shades, the bronzer shade and my actual foundation shade, I think I'm gonna hang on to. Thank you again so much to Ilia for the chance to try your new product. Okay, I have another foundation to talk about, which is wild because I rarely purchase foundations, but I had to try this one from Covergirl. This is the Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. This is so pretty. So I picked up the shade number 20, Light Pale. Now, this is a dewy face product. You are going to look very hydrated. Your skin's gonna look juicy. But this actually has way more tint to it than I was expecting. So you are going to get some coverage. Not a ton, just some. But if you have dry skin and you struggle with products looking heavy on you, this is a beautiful product. It does look a little gross in there. I gotta admit, I don't necessarily need that. But happily, once you start to spread it on your skin, it all mixes together and it doesn't look so gross anymore. I found this wore well for me. I didn't experience any sort of weird breakup or anything. And while this is pretty spendy for Covergirl, Covergirl does routinely go on sale at places like CVS or even Ulta. So this is something you're on the lookout for and the price is holding you back. I would just wait for a sale. It will happen. Let's talk about the mascara that I'm wearing. So the mascara I've been testing all month is this one from MAC. So this is the MAC Stack Mascara. I just love the packaging with that silver ball. It looks so cool. So it has nice small bristles, which are nice for avoiding the lid, which I've actually been pretty successful with this mascara and not getting mascara all over my lid, which is an unfortunate problem that I always have. And the whole point of this mascara is they want it to be flexible enough to be able to allow you to do lots of layers if you so desire without your lashes getting crunchy. And I actually think that they really were very successful. Look at those lashes. I think they look fantastic. And that's 2 layers. So initially I was very, very, very happy with this. Sadly, you'll notice I did not put it on my lower lashes. Well, this one smears on me. No, not flaking, just smearing. And I have tried it with and without concealer. Sometimes since I tend to really go for a dewy concealer, I feel like that my concealer may be contributing to smearing of mascara. So I tried it without concealer. It still smeared on me. I tried it with powder under my eyes and it still wanted to smear. So I was very sad because I love how this makes my lashes look, but this one did not pass all the tests. I have 2 more bronzers to talk about. So I was really behind everyone. I finally tried this. The Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer from L'Oreal. I picked up the lightest shade, which is the shade 200. So this is a soft matte bronzer, and this is delightful. I know not everyone's into a glowy bronzer. This is a wonderful soft matte bronzer that blends out gorgeously and again looks so natural. That's what I like to find in bronzers, something that you don't have to spend forever blending and doesn't make it look like you're actually wearing bronzer even though it's doing the work. And this shade is great. If you have very light to fair skin, this shade is in no way orange, and I've compared it to other bronzers in my collection, and it's just kind of neutral leaning. It leans a little bit cool probably, but it's still not super cool. It's not as cool as my Flower Beauty bronzer. And the texture of the powder is very finely milled, very soft, and it's just a joy to work with. I am not a huge fan of the packaging. It's got the whole thing where the bottom lifts up like this, and so there's a mirror, which, you know, the mirror is nice. Oh, what did I smear on my face? Sorry, that's been driving some of you crazy. I had like a line. Must have been like my eyebrow pencil or something. But anyway, I feel like L'Oreal could update this packaging and people would be a lot happier with it, but it's still a gorgeous product. I'm really, really happy I have this in my collection. I was avoiding it just because the packaging annoys me until I saw Jen Phelps. She did a swatch video where she was swatching all the bronzers in her collection that were very good for the pale skinned folks out there. And I just took a screenshot of her swatches and I actually picked this out of the lineup. Like, I didn't know what it was, but I was like, that one, what's that shade right there? And so I looked and here it was this one. And I've been very pleased with it. The next bronzer is quite different. So it's from NYX. This is the Buttermelt bronzer. And I'm also very happy with this one because of how easily it blends out, but it is a totally different product than the one from L'Oreal. Mainly because it is quite glowy. However, since it blends out so beautifully, I find it doesn't look that glowy on my skin. Like, it's not gonna make it look like you're using highlighter as a bronzer, but in a swatch, you'll definitely see more of the glowiness. Oh, I wanted to swatch that next to the other one so you could see. So I have the lightest shade, the shade Buttercup, and that's what that looks like next to the L'Oreal. So you can see in comparison, the shade Buttercup is very glowy, also pinky peach in comparison to this more neutral color. This is definitely more blushy, which I admit I'm a fan of. Blushy bronzers, I feel, can look so natural, and I just really don't want to scare anybody off by how glowy that looks. I promise that when you blend it out on your face, it does not look that glowy. I'm not someone who needs a giant bronzer collection, but I admit I have been having some fun finding these gems at the drugstore. I've been enjoying them very much. Okay, here's a product that was not as easy to work with, unfortunately. So this is a beautiful liquid blush from NARS. I've had these on my wish list forever. I found this one at TJ Maxx. This is the shade Dolce Vita. Gonna give it a little shake, and I'm gonna show you why I found this so difficult to use. So it's got a little pump on it. I'm gonna try just to get a little drop. Oh, look at how pigmented it is. and that was just with one little drop, and I find that it's a bit much for me. I know pigmented blushes, especially pigmented liquid blushes, are really in at the moment, and I'm not there for them, guys. I don't want to have to be careful with my blush. So I'm gonna give this to a friend who has more tan skin than me. I think that she will really enjoy this color. I mean, look at that beautiful rosy color. Oh, it's so pretty. I think that she will love this. Okay, I picked up 2 of the Give Beauty highlighters. They were on sale through FabFitFun. So I picked up Homegrown Glow, which is the one on my cheeks today. This is the peachy one. So that peachy color there. And I also picked up the lightest kind of pinky shade called Platinum Cowgirl. Let me give you some swatches. So I have really enjoyed these. They're not super beaming highlighters, but they're very easy to build up, but when you build them up, they don't look thick. I hate that kind of thick powdery look, and these don't look like that. So there we have Platinum Cowgirl and Homegrown Glow. So this one I do have to be careful when I dip my brush in to go for the lighter parts. I tend to like put my brush this way to avoid these darker shades, but I can make it work, which I'm so happy about because I think it's so pretty. These are not sparkly, they're just glowy, and they're exactly the type of highlighters I want in my collection. They're beautiful. All right, let's talk about this gloss from NYX. I am wearing this over a lip liner, so you can't really see the true color. It's mostly just clear, although it has a little bit of an orange tint. There you go. It's very high shine, which I love in a gloss. And this particular shade, Guava Snap, is guava scented, so something to keep in mind if you're not a fan of guava. But I love an orange juicy gloss in the summertime. It goes so well with if you're wearing any sort of peachy makeup. So initially when I tried this, I experienced a little bit of numbing on my lips, which, you know, it's not advertised to do that. But so far it hasn't irritated my lips, which usually means a home run. If it doesn't irritate my lips the first time I wear it, it means it's not going to. So happily I can keep this in my collection, which I'm so happy about. I forgot to even say what this is. This is Juice Gloss. Electrolyte infused color from NYX. If you're into a sheer juicy gloss, I think you'd like it. Also, this has a lot of product in it, 10 mils. That's a nice amount of product for a gloss. Okay, I have 3 more lip products. So another product from my FabFitFun box. So this is from Thrive Causemetics. You can tell because of the color. I always enjoy their packaging, but this is their tinted lip balm product. I have the shade Cara. It does have kind of a fruity scent. Not my favorite fruity scent, however. This is what it looks like in the packaging. It looks very pretty. And it does have a sheer build up, so that is lovely as well. And it just feels like a nice lip balm. Like there's nothing about it that screams it's amazing and nothing about it that I actively dislike. It's not necessarily a color that I'll wear that often, but it is different in my collection. With the sea of tinted balms out there, I feel like something has to be really outstanding in order to stand out. This is nice, but it's not outstanding. I picked up another shade from Clinique in the Chubby Stick formula. I love the Clinique Chubby Sticks. The new shade to my collection is the shade number 3, Fuller Fig, which, oh, I just love these sheer lip crayons. See, these are even more sheer than the one from Thrive, and I just love that. Like, what do you even call that color? It's kind of plummy, kind of brown. It's got a bit of pink in it. I love it. Lastly, but certainly not least, we have this product from Milani. This is the Color Fetish Hydrating Lip Stain. I picked up the shade Rose Rising. So this is a very effective lip stain. It feels very smooth and it has a nice little glossiness to it as well. It's like a glossy lip stain, and the gloss part lasts for quite a long time. However, if you go the route where you just want to put it on and then blot it off to leave a stain underneath, like I mentioned, this stains really, really well. And the shade Rose Rising, as you would imagine, is kind of a rosy color. It's a lot deeper than I first imagined. I was trying to avoid giving you a swatch, but I'll do it. That's okay. So there's the shade Rose Rising, and you can see how kind of glossy it is. I'm gonna leave it on for just a few seconds, and then I'm gonna wipe it off so you can see the stain. I admit the color is a little bit much for me to just wear by itself, but I think it's a shade I will enjoy more in the fall. Let's wipe off. There you go. So now you can see the stain, which, you know, very wearable, very pretty, and it lasts all day long. I could attest to that through eating and everything. It lasts a really long time. And all these types of glossy lip stains have become more popular, which I love. I think they're so nice. And a lot of them are K-beauty brands. Interestingly, this product was made in Korea. I kind of hope they come out with more shades of this, ones that aren't quite so intense, maybe a little bit more nude shades. But it is a lovely product. Whew, we got through everything. Thank you so much for following along with me. As always, if you've tried any of these products, make sure to let us all know down in the comments what your experience experience with the items are, because all of our makeup experiences are so subjective. So I really appreciate you guys sharing your reviews. You have made it to the end of the video, which means you get to hear about the tea of the day. So I really wanted a black tea. So today I'm drinking this Darjeeling from the Hale Tea Company. I always get a little giggle when I see the name of this company because it makes me think of that classic novel North and South, which I think the BBC made a miniseries about. It also makes me think of Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm. I don't know a lot of her music, but I first learned of her through Lindsay Sterling, and Lizzie Hale sang her song Shatter Me. Wow. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this tea. Darjeeling is one of those teas I have not done a lot of research on to know what is good and what is bad. I feel like I might have steeped it a little bit too long. But in any case, I was enjoying it before it got cold. Now that I no longer have my tea service that sends me samples every single month, I'm trying to get through some of these old samples that I have so that I can try something new. Make sure and let me know any tea recommendations that you have down in the comments, especially if it's from kind of an obscure brand. I'm always happy to find new nummies. So thank you so much again for sharing, and thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon in the next one. Bye!